AC, Tony, a very exciting game here at Parkview Road.
Yeah, well, really, it was difficult, to describe that game. It was a bit like a basketball match, and we was a few short today in certain positions. So we discussed it before the game and just said, like, let's go top heavy up front. So we basically started with 4 up front and had a go at it. And to be honest, the boys really put the plan into operation, and I think we were well worthy of scoring our goals. Let's acknowledge they had some good chances as well, and we could have come in at, it could have been 3 or 4-3 or anything, but particularly after the Sutton game, when we were all really quite down in the dumps after that performance. I mean, how can you go from playing like Tracy dressed in a Easter Bunny outfit on Wednesday at Sutton to coming here today and putting that sort of a performance? It was a completely.
We wanted to ask you about that. Like, what was different this time round?
I think the way that the boys approached the game, to be fair, like, we've come here with nothing to lose, to be honest with you, and as Tone said, we've come up with the idea, mainly Tone, to have a go. So we've gone 4-2-4, which is unlike us, but personnel kind of dictated that a bit as well, and the boys just put the effort in. Simple as that. That's the difference. So if, again, we've just said it in there, like, at the end of the game, we're actually having a decent season for us, right? We're in mid-table, we've got the opportunity of a top-half finish, which is what we wanted. But if you actually think about some of the points that we've dropped and some of the performances we've had, I think we've really perhaps missed an opportunity here to do something a bit special. But look, it's a learning curve for a lot of the boys. I think you've got to remember, some of them, it's the first time they've played at this level of football. And I think today showed that perhaps they've learnt a lot throughout the season to deliver a performance like that, which is playing the way that we want us to play, which is quite direct at times. We'll be open and honest about that, because we know it's effective and it works in this league. So they've taken that on board, they've executed it, and as Tone said, it could have been anything. We could have been 4-0 up, 5-0 up, could have been 4-all, could have been 4-3 down. It's just one of those crazy games, but thankfully we come out on the right end of the result.
That being said, we only conceded once today. Are you happy with what you saw from the back line of your team today?
Yeah, I think overall it was pretty good. I mean, you can always critique it, and it can always be better, but we've sort of chucked that back line together today, and you had Johnny in there, who's obviously very young. We've had to move Tank in next to Meeks, who's who's also young. He's only played 2 or 3 starts at this level, and Ayo's like the old head, probably at 20, or 21, and. I mean, it also sums it up. You've got Mecca playing today. He's come along. It's his birthday today, and he's the ripe old age of 18. So these are the sort of ages of the players you're dealing with, and so for them to put in a mature performance as they did today, I think it's big credit to them. And I was really proud of them today, actually, really, because after Sutton, quite frankly, where we kind of we capitulated. Let's not beat around the bush. We did. We could have come here today. On paper, this was the hardest game of our running by far, I would say, and we've done really, really well. And it's so frustrating, because they've got it in their locker when they get their minds on it. But I think that's a typical thing with a young team. You get inconsistent performances, and that's what we've got to change for next season, is to add a few to it that are going to not allow the inconsistencies to creep in, and keep us honest. But no. So in answer to your question, I don't know, the back. It was a makeshift back line, and I thought they just rose to the occasion, every single one. And I am going to pick out Mix at the back, because I don't know if you remember, he cost us a goal against Corinthians a couple of weeks ago. After we told him specifically to do something, he didn't, and he cost us a goal, and we substituted him straight away. He was really upset about that, and but he stepped down. He listened to the reasons. He's had 2 starts since then, and he's been excellent. Right, so shout out to him for taking it on board, taking it on his chin, and then coming in and putting 2 really good performances next time round. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Clinical in front of goal in the first half.
Yeah, I thought we start well. The 3 we took, yes. Obviously, Lewis has got a couple. One's from a long throw, I think, into the box. Mix has gone up for the first header, and I think he's headed it back across in off the post, which is a great finish, to be fair. But with Alfie's throw, we know that's always going to cause teams problems. I actually don't think we've utilised that enough, because it's an absolute missile that he can look into the box. But thankfully, that one's paid off for us. The second goal, again, nice bit of football actually that we played. I think DeAndre broke it up, played the ball in for Mecca. and then he's got a ball across the box, and Lewis has poked that in, which is another great striker's goal for him. And then the third one, just before half time, great bit of play from Magosa out wide. Thought he looked a really big threat in the first half. And he's put a great ball into the back post, and Johnny's used all 7'6" of his full
5
body,
stone,
and nodded it at the back post. So like, I'm really pleased with Johnny. He's obviously stepped up out of academy football to gain a bit of experience, and he's tagged along and been on the bench quite a lot, and we felt he deserved to start today, and I thought he'd done really well and capped it off with a goal. So really pleased for him. But that was clinical. There's two massive chances, I think, that we need to mention, which is DeAndre's one that is an open goal that he should score, and Mecca when he's created all that himself and just tries to, I don't know if it bobbles, but he tries to dink the keeper and it just goes over the bar. But look, we're a different side when we get in front, and I think that is, it shouldn't be like that, but for some reason it is. The minute we go behind in games, a bit like Sutton, we seem to just give up and don't put in the same effort. But today, getting in front gave us something to hold on to, and yeah, it was just a great performance, really.
So we've got one game left this season. That win moves us up into 11th. Is the aim still to finish in the top 10?
Yeah, look, it's a lot of people look at that and probably go, it don't really mean much, but to me, I think, and for us as a club, if we could get a top half finish, I think given the resources we've got, where we're at as a club, we've progressed from last season, which was a solid but frustrating season again. Look, the goal at the start of the season for us, first and foremost, is stay in the league. That's where we're at as a club. So if we can get a top half finish, then we're miles away from being in the mix for that relegation battle, and that's a big achievement for us. And I think we should all be proud of that as a club, because a lot of people put in a lot of hard work, and as I said, some people won't recognise that as success, but to us it is. So we'll be pleased to get that kind of finish.
I think also just to add to that is that although it's top 10 finish would be great, but also if we could get to 50 points, which is a decent season, for us, and especially last year, it's all about progression. And if you look at, we were sort of well ahead of our points total last year. If we can finish above 50 points, I think, like Andy says, just to endorse it, for us as a club, that is right now, that is success and improving. And we want to keep going. We've got lots of things going on behind the scenes. We're trying to improve the club and on and off the field. But at the moment, so for us to be where we are, is sort of a really solid Kent League team, and deservedly in there amongst some of these much bigger clubs than we are. Then I think everyone, as Andy said, we should all be proud of ourselves, really, including you, and everybody else that does all the things behind the scenes that a lot of other clubs, more well-established clubs, would actually love to have in place, and we've got them, and we can build on that now.
Yeah. Cheers for your time, guys.
Cheers, Nick.